right. Welcome to Gen X Rated Thursday edition. There's the skipper. What's up, Billy?
Nice to be back. Did I miss anything?
Not really. Same old stuff. But we did miss you and your insight and wherewithal about things. So glad to have you.
Well, I thought Tim and Melissa and CJ all did amazing. You guys really did well together. So
I
you didn't
appreciate
miss a
that.
beat.
They're not fill-ins. They were just placeholders. They all did great. Tim, they all bring their own skill set. Pam also joined us with
That's right.
Melissa, and just it's nice to get other perspectives. You and I kind of think alike, but I also appreciate hearing from you. So thanks for making the time today. I'll be brief. I won't hold you too long because I know you have stuff to do. I was going to start out with the builder in chief. I don't know if you've seen the helipad, but it's amazing.
Something that every American can enjoy and take pride in, the new helipad.
Well, and they can have cocktail parties out there and all kinds of fun stuff. It's going to be really amazing.
Oh, we're all going to get invited to it. I can't wait.
And in typical form, here's this piece of, he talked about the bevel on the white granite. We're $40 trillion in debt as a nation, but let's talk about the beveling. He also mentioned about Scott grass. Grass they put out there's amazing. Also pointing out that they donated to his campaign, of course, because you already know that.
Of course.
But Scott's Miracle Grow, unbelievable. They donated to his campaign. They donated this, and it reminds me of Granny K with the bread and circus. But this guy, all I was going to say is to that point, look, he's got this little plaque here to put up because everything's got to be Trump at the end of the day.
Of course.
I mean, it's like the Kennedy Center that, of course, he had to put that he updated it because they wouldn't legally change the name on top. And it's still covered because apparently they broke some of the marble while removing his name, which wouldn't have happened if you didn't have to have your name on everything. But
karma.
Builder in chief is kind of ridiculous, but here we are. And what else is new? Because it is bread and circus.
Except there's really no bread for anybody. It's just all circus. The bread's all moldy and filled with worms.
Yes, to that point, I did want to pop up some things on RFK, who's telling us we're better off now than ever. They asked him about COVID, if that were to happen again. He said, hey, look at us. 2018, it took 6 weeks for that administration to solve the cyclospora. Now it's 2 weeks. We found it and did nothing about it.
Did nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Look at this guy. He looks like a saddlebag. That face, like a catcher's mitt.
Yeah, he's pretty awful. And that's not going to change. Cyclospora is still here. I did have a list of things because you had always told me, hey, just get the blueberries. It's a little bit safer.
Frozen blueberries.
Frozen variety. And that's the latest right now. Frozen blueberries along with mixed berries. They were given class 1. So they're the highest risk. Reasonable possibility to cause serious adverse health consequences or death. That's new.
Yeah, that ruined my day.
Yeah, I and this was coming out of Publix, so I don't know what the brand was, but be careful of your frozen berries now, what else is new? Also, 39,000 bottles of clear eye drops were recalled due to contamination. Today, they recalled some sourdough bread because of shards of metal. So it's not just cyclospora. Iceberg lettuce, cyclospora. Eggs have been recalled, salmonella, of course. And then you had 431 people in 32 states sickened by jalapenos that also salmonella. I mean, soup kits, listeria, soft cheeses, listeria. I mean, I could go on. I won't. But my point is, RFK says it's under control. We did better than the person in office in 2018. But we still haven't done anything. We're not doing anything.
We're not doing anything, no. And, I wonder if there's a point where people just get sick of hearing them blame everything on the previous administration.
I hope so.
I mean, it's 2026. You've been here for 2 years now, and you've just made a giant fucking mess of everything. I mean, we're clearly, every day we're showing more signs of a nation in decline, and not just decline, deep decline. The corruption is so blatant; it's in your face. The national debt is unprecedented.
It is.
Never been in this position before.
No. Bassett says we can growth our way out of it. This is the same gentleman, Bassett, who wasn't sure why oil's spiking. Couldn't quite figure that one out.
Something going on somewhere?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, Tom. Could be something with Iran. I don't know.
I don't know. Something about
To
a
your
straight
point,
gentleman.
Just not serious people. I don't understand where the confusion is for him that he doesn't understand this, or he's just gaslighting, which seems more like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, his whole thing is, dude, every time his lips move, he's lying. He's just a born liar. I mean, he was tutored by Roy Cohn, who was the original fucking born liar, and it's just an even more rotten person, if you can imagine that. And
you're talking about Trump.
Trump, yeah. And I mean, dude, everything's a lie. The whole world, his version of reality is what everything is supposed to be. Everything's great. It's fine. Oh, they haven't been out there long enough. They're doing fine, eating 5-course, gourmet meals on that carrier. It's all a fucking lie. And he doesn't care.
He doesn't. And the reporter that brought that to fruition from the USS Abraham Lincoln was reassigned. Hegseth didn't care for that much. But Hegseth's out there campaigning, blaming, that they're into training warriors, not trannies. It's offensive on every level. You're literally at war and you're not doing your job. You working out, you politicizing this nonsense, you on the campaign trail for people. It's ridiculous. And it's offensive to our men and women serving in the service to begin with.
Yeah, it really is. It's unbelievable, the level of just incompetence, corruption, graft, everything that you can do. If you were putting together a textbook on how to destroy a country, they're ticking off every box.
And you got to start to wonder, like, how'd they get so good at this? Is there anybody behind this? I don't know. Probably.
Oh, there's definitely people with a vested interest in it. North Korea, after Trump wanted to be buddies, decided they're going to test some ballistic missiles.
Yeah, and right after he said that, the sister of Kim Jong-un was like, I don't know what he's talking about. We haven't talked to him. So he's just lying. To that point of the FDA, their food division lost 20 to 22% of its workforce. Doge, of course, they were probably grifters. The CDC surveillance team was reduced from 11 scientists down to 3. And now you have roughly 4 times as many reported illnesses as we had in the past. But, nobody's really on the case. The FDA plans to end its routine food safety inspections because they want to move it down to state and local authorities to handle this.
Depending on the state and locality you live in, maybe they'll do a better job.
Likely not. Also more susceptible to bribery. We saw what happened when the pork industry regulated themselves. It wasn't a great idea. And I think you're absolving the federal government, who I just paid my quarterly taxes early. What's it going to? If you don't want to pay the people that are protecting my food supply, my water supply, my air quality, the land I live on, because they don't really take care of the soldiers either. What am I paying for? Now you're going to bump it down to the state. How's that helpful? I'm paying them too, but not nearly what I pay the feds.
Yeah. I mean, none of this makes any sense. It's just a smash and grab. That's all it is.
I think you're right. I did want to say, I'm going to put her up here real quick. Big doings out of the White House you would think would have something to do with the war, but instead it's about Natalie Harp, this 35-year-old who loves Trump and sleeps in the locker room at his golf course because they didn't have a room for her. He rode in the trunk of his car just to be close to him, which seems really weird. Finding letters that say, this is all, you're all that matters to me. Chasing after him on a golf cart. While he's on a golf cart, she's chasing him around in Scotland and didn't want to embarrass him, but she just can't be that far from him. This is weird.
It's beyond weird.
Apparently she got Carolyn Levitt fired or reassigned or pushed into private life. And now these leaks are coming out, and it's Caroline Levitt. She's not KK. Caroline's not real happy with her replacement. Why are we even dealing with this nonsense? It's just ridiculous.
Well, just another distraction, really, because those crazy files that are still out there that the Justice Department seems to want nothing to do with.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. To that point, Melania's back. They'd seen her only 38 days. She's back because they're doing this Indy race around Washington, D.C., which I'm sure is going to be great for the roads. And they're going to get up to 190 miles an hour. What could possibly go wrong? But Melania was back. This was her brainchild. They're going to do it for charity. They're going to take care of the foster children because some of those children could be great leaders one day. Her quote was that the greatest achievement investment Americans can make is not in technology, infrastructure, or capital markets. It's in our children. And I have to stop right there because you are married to a pedophile. We know about the 13-year-old. We know the notes that were taken. We know that you're not releasing him, but we know. So now you're going to come out and you're protecting the children. I mean, that ship has sailed. This was a long time ago. You could have done something. You've done nothing. So please don't lecture us about investment in our children and our future when you jump to AI and say, oh, this is what's going to be teaching Timmy and Suzabel.
The AI robot.
Ridiculous.
No, they've done a ton for the kids, man. They've cut their SNAP benefits. They've cut their health care. They're gutting public education. So, hey, what more do those kids want? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, Junior. Get a job.
Watch that car go fast and then faster.
She's just in town to party with the drivers.
Probably. They do have very strong forearms, but they're not very tall. So that could be a problem.
Should be A-okay.
It's just more nonsense and ridiculousness. Meanwhile, we have, this is somewhat close to me. We had this storm go through. I think it was winds. I don't think it was lightning. Took down a giant part of my tree.
That was crazy.
Across, electrical wires. Well, day 2, I have a service call into my electric company. They'll come out when they can. This is storm season. I feel fortunate, and the power's still on in my house. Not so much in Indiana. Gary, Indiana in particular, 75,000 customers don't have electricity. This is 8 days after the storm. Then today, Gary, Indiana comes out and says, the water company says they're issuing a boil advisory because they don't have power at the facility to filter your water. Well, if I live in an electric house, I'm not boiling my water either, right? How am I doing this? Keep in mind, Gary, Indiana is 76% African-American. So this falls right in line with Flint, Michigan, 57% Black. Jackson, Mississippi, 82% Black, and probably the poorest, city in America. We just don't seem to really care. How do you let this go on? I mean, the heat. This is not pleasant. They have no air conditioning. They can try and get a decent meal at the center that they've set up for these people. The other priority there is charging your phone. Like, what are we doing? We used to have FEMA. They would come into a place like this. We know that went away because it was waste, fraud, and abuse. Just like SNAP, we found $2 billion of fraud, trying to pass off jerky at these stores as a protein source,
Which it is.
I know. That's Brooke Rollins. She's more worried about the, putting more of these AI facilities on ranchers' land.
Dude, it's interesting. That is one thing Republicans and Democrats, MAGAs and non-MAGAs can agree on. Nobody wants those things. Nobody. So I guess we're going to find out, at what point, how far can you push people?
Well, pushing people that are hot, hungry, and have no work, you're really flirting with disaster. I mean, there's no doubt.
You are. And, in the meantime, you're also not only that, but you're selling off national parks and forest land at an alarming rate.
Yeah.
The West is drying up.
For logging, right? We did talk about this. I don't know if you saw the Lake Mead part of it, Lake Powell.
I saw it. Very disturbing.
How much lower can you go? 7 states depend on it. 40 to 50 million people depend on it. And Trump says, just turn on the faucets. It rains. We got oceans. I mean, that kind of thinking is just ignorant and just indifferent is kind of how I feel. He made a comment and he moves on.
It's totally different. He does not give a shit. Well, my faucets work like gold-plated faucets. So, get your own. Yeah, it's a problem. And all those states, they always battle in court over, every time the agreement comes up. At some point, it's going to get desperate, and you might see, a lot of people say the next war is not going to be over oil; it's going to be over water.
I think you're right. You need it. We can do without a lot of things. That is not one thing we can. Now, of course, when it comes to Gary, Indiana, and because of the population being majority Black, they come out and you see stories in the comments about, there was gunfire. We're not even letting the workers come out and do their job. I doubt very much when the power company comes out to these areas that are desperate. It's been over a week. 300,000 people went without. Schools were closed. Food banks overwhelmed. That you're going to have the bright idea to start firing your gun when help arrives. It's nonsense. And people that are in those areas just say this is ridiculous. But hey, if we can blame somebody, let's do it, especially if the color fits. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. Because, certain people we really don't care about.
Yeah. So, and we'll continue that way. Now, I wanted to skip real quick because I know we're limited on time to Lindsey Graham's sister who's running for Senate, which is kind of a big deal in South Carolina. The other night she did mention that she wasn't big on national security policy. She did recover the next day and say, yeah, we know Taiwan's our friend and all, but she worries about women and men and women's sports. I mean, you can't even make that stuff up. Oh, I had a long conversation. I had to watch her interview again. Long conversation about it with somebody very concerned about that. Of course, she's on Hannity. She looks way overmatched to begin with, but Hannity likes to say, well, Lindsey, your brother, who you talk to all the time, traveled to the Middle East so much. You just through that osmosis of that, you must know so much. Continued on talking about Europe. Oh, nobody went to Ukraine more than Lindsey did, and you probably know all about it. And all she can say is, well, we have a wonderful commander-in-chief. I don't think that gets reelected, to be perfectly honest.
I would hope not. I guess we're going to find out, but we'll see if there is actually a bottom to the stupidity of the American voter. But I don't have a lot of confidence.
She's trying the old, I was just being honest. I guess that's a rare thing in politics. It's a foreign concept, and that she's not a politician. Well, that worked once. Actually, it worked twice to get this guy into office. If it works a third time, shame on you.
Yeah, the results speak for themselves.
Awful. But we just stick to our agenda. So Walmart came out, and this is the canary in the coal mine, is what they said. They came out today, slowest U.S. growth in 6 years for Walmart. Of course, that affects the markets that are so amazing. Don't worry about your wage inequality. Don't worry about a job. Because we're so incredible. And in fact, to that point, Bissett, who's the Treasury Secretary, said, after all the deportations and the closing of the border, we don't need to produce as many jobs. Like,
what the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck? So you've deported tax-paying people that held a lot of different jobs that maybe a lot of Americans don't want to do.
Or can't,
or won't. And so you know what? We don't have those. We don't need those workers anymore. And you know what? Average American, if you can't find a job, maybe you can leave too.
Yeah.
It's just a big fuck you, basically.
For sure. And when you talk to people that didn't realize how much undocumenteds pay into Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid, they're blown away. And they just need to be told. They're given such misinformation, and it's just beat into them. And when you have the leader of the free world lying to you constantly, I get it. I'm not assigning blame here, but I'm just saying, even the people that are behind this guy 1,000%, when they get that kind of information, they say, wow, I may have to rethink that. I didn't realize that they paid in, but get literally nothing. And this is billions of dollars. This isn't they put in their $80. People do hard work. They do hard labor in general, whether it's picking food out in the fields or whatever. I'm not comparing them, but that's the only job they do. A lot of them are electricians. A lot of them do a lot of various jobs.
Construction.
Yeah, and we just don't seem to respect it. Roofing. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
Take a look in Florida sometimes when you see the missing teeth white guys get out there and try and do their job. It's pathetic.
It is pathetic. It's just, it's so fucked up. But again, part of that is, just the lack of critical thinking on the part of people that are willing to blindly follow someone until they finally reach the bottom of the rabbit hole. I mean,
and then you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
You can't get out of the hole. You're stuck.
Yeah. You're so stuck in there because you didn't have any kind of critical thinking skills. You believed every lie that you were served up on the way down. I mean, dude, people in Nazi Germany still thought, as the Russians were entering Berlin, they still thought Hitler was going to get them out of there.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Now we're debating whether Hitler had killed himself or not, right? Because that's a great conspiracy to look
Apparently the Russians have pieces of his skull. But, the German troops that were surrounded at Stalingrad, which was really the turning point of the Second World War. Germany was in full retreat pretty much after that. But up until the end, they still said, oh, don't worry, Hitler's going to get us out of here. Yeah, no, he did not. In fact, Hitler was like, other divisions wanted to come and try and break these guys out. Hitler was like, nope, not doing it.
Well, and to your point, the comparison of the inner circle is very much the same. Most people were terrified of telling him the actual truth. And those that did probably didn't last very long. And we've got the same shooting gallery, in the White House now. I mean, these guys won't tell him shit. The Senate saying, hey, these numbers don't matter. Job creation, who cares? Keep supporting people.
Yeah, well, you look at them, and every time Trump decides he wants to be on TV and pops up in the middle of the day just to bloviate on about, some garbage that he's spewing, you've got Marco and you've got fucking VP eyeliner guy standing behind him. And it looks just like those old Nazi newsreels where Hitler's up there bloviating, spewing a bunch of bullshit, and his henchmen are right behind him, just standing there. It's the same playbook.
And normally you have Hegseth on the couch too. You could factor in a couple other guys. We haven't seen Howard Litnick in a while. Maybe he's working on finding a new nanny. I don't know. But again, terrible people. Many people that have been in this Epstein files that we're not quite seeing, but we're getting closer because the legal system works. It just takes time. And all these executive order nonsense that are outrage you and I and probably many people through time and through the legal system are not legal and will not stand. But at the time, it's a smash and grab, to your words earlier, and there's no doubt about it. Critical thinking, I want to put this guy up real quick because he went on his family vacation that was paid
the Duff.
By the people that he regulates. It was finally his reality show was finally released, I want to say yesterday, after they hammered out a bunch of ethical things that were issues of why he shouldn't be doing this. And one of the clips was about his daughter who wants to go to Harvard. They were raised very conservative. They're Catholics, everything about them is Catholic. And Duffy's point was, maybe you can't say no, but your parents can say no. His quote was that they professionalized figuring out how they can take a good young girl and corrupt their minds, perverted and contorted. First of all, if she's ready for college, she's a woman. She's not some girl. Maybe that's how you look at her because you're her dad, but it's a little bit disrespectful to her as somebody that could possibly be accepted to Harvard. That's not girl territory. This is somebody who's ready to move on, maybe experience some things, become more well-rounded. But to him, he's like, they're the devil. And I will point out this is the same guy, 2001, down in Cabo. We know he's a great pole climber. Nobody can climb a pole like that guy. But it's again, you had your fun, and now you're not allowing her to go to Harvard because you're worried about what? And
the woke agenda.
Yeah, and look at the people that went to Harvard. It's a laundry list of conservatives that actually served in our government. You're a fool. They were on the Supreme Court. You're just not letting go, and you're not, you're not doing your job as a parent, which is to, yeah, great. You raised him with the strict values. She went to the most conservative Catholic school. She said she got that end of it. Now let her take her family values and go out and explore the world. I'm sure she'll follow suit as to what she was brought up with. But why are you so afraid of allowing her to be an adult and to be independent?
Sounds like he wants to raise a young trad wife for some strapping young evangelical douchebag because, yeah, I don't know why you would tie your kid's hands like that. And, I hope she finds a way to get into Harvard or any other, educational institution of her choice because, these people, their view of women are that they need to be pregnant, they need to be monitored, they need to stay at home, they can't work. No, they shouldn't have checking accounts. No, they shouldn't have any independence. Their job is to service their man. No, they shouldn't even vote. That's what these people want, and it's just sick. It's really twisted, and it's offensive.
I'm with you 1,000%. I wanted to put up because you mentioned her being raised to be a trad wife, but I'm sure you saw his son-in-law, who he's trying to take over his seat, and he did win his primary. I don't know if you've seen him or not, but
I have not.
Well, let me get a picture of him because it's just a little bit creepy. And again, I'm not dissing anybody, but I feel like if you're going to cast stones, maybe protect your own glass house at the time. But whatever. It just doesn't seem all that normal to me. I'm trying to get his photo just because it is a bit striking. And I'm not judging anybody's, looks, but it's just a little bit.
Well, I mean, none of this is normal.
You're absolutely right. Duffy's not normal. I mean, let's be honest. No. He's just kind of a mess.
He's a guy that's way in over his head. The air traffic control system is breaking down. Travel
is a nightmare. Melissa had that issue, as we talked about. We had that issue. It is the whole thing is just it's a mess. And I really, again, don't think that they care all that much about it because they're flying on their PJs or they're not. Even Congress, they got their airport passes back. They're not too worried about that.
Yeah, they don't care.
Deal. All right, here's his picture, and I'm going to move on because I really don't care, and I'm certainly not disparaging the kid, but it's a little bizarre. He's a very young man. To be doing those eyebrows is a little bit creepy. And,
oh, yeah.
Or a lot creepy. So let's not be so quick. And let's not be so quick to judge others, Secretary Duffy. I did want to point out to that point, we now have 15 U.S. colleges that cost more than $100,000 a year to attend. So this is a $400,000 4-year degree. Pretty impressive. I'm old, and I do recall that you could get out of medical school at probably $125,000 in debt if you were able to get Pell Grants, et cetera, and loans, because you were basically taking loans at that point. Now it's probably closer to $200,000, but they do call you doctor, not a 4-year degree. And this does include tuition, housing, plus fees, food, and books. But $100,000 is a ton. Harvey Mudd College, do you know where that is?
I'm not sure.
Me neither. $104,000. Duke is $103,000. University of Chicago, $103,000 a year. USC, $103,000 a year. Washington University, a little discount, $102,000 a year.
Oh, nice.
When I first heard of that school, I thought it was extreme at about $70,000. I mean, I'm not that old, but wow. It's just Georgetown, $100,000. Colgate, $100,000. Are we just trying to make people not want to get educated at these universities? I mean,
well, it's more a matter of who we want educated. We want the offspring of the wealthy elite to be educated.
Good point.
And that's why we're also trying to interfere with, the curriculums and the liberal studies and all of that. We want to just stamp out a bunch of, conservatives and, right-wing nut jobs. But yeah, because the more people that you have that don't have those critical thinking skills, that are willing to, listen to any kind of propaganda garbage that is spewed out from the top, the easier it is to keep control and to do whatever the fuck you want. And we're seeing that right now.
I do feel the danger is that we're seeing this class of people, or so they think they are. They didn't get that $100,000 education, but they are staunch conservatives of this movement, and their governing sucks. And it's dooming all of us. Not only is the planet on fire, we talked about the other day, Hurricane Layla ripping through Hawaii, which they don't generally get hurricanes. We've got Indiana that had major storms ripping through that we haven't fixed. We could go back to Kentucky, North Carolina. I mean, the list goes on of people we're not taking care of.
North St. Louis.
North St. Louis, of course. Well, predominantly black. So what?
No money for that. I'm sorry, Christy Noem's costume budget ate up all that.
Well, and it's funny you mention her because she still has a job. She's the liaison between North and South America and defending our hemisphere. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah.
Bottom line is she has a job. I don't know that she should, and she's still with Lewandowski. And who cares if her husband dresses in women's clothes and makes giant breasts? Whatever. It's your place.
Listen, it's your right to be as weird as you want. I don't care. I don't judge. So what? But when you fuck with, public services that people need, the kind of things that keep a country running, I mean, that's what you have to have. You have to have these agencies, and they have to be, run by people that aren't motivated politically, people that just want to do their jobs to the best that they can do and keep this, this little circus wagon rolling forward. And you just don't have that.
And it started in the State Department. I mean, they started gutting those jobs. They made everything political. Those people go to work every day and keep this country running. But instead, we decided to see how they vote. Let's check that out. I mean, that's why we're sending out 1,000 people from ICE and Homeland Security to make sure the votes are counted correctly.
That's right. And we're equipping them with electrified gloves for the low price of $20 million. I mean, what the fuck?
Wow. Yeah, and those are pretty dangerous as well. But Holman will tell you how ICE is in fear of their lives and whatever. But every video I see is them storming in or shooting into cars and doing the wrong thing. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, how many of these assholes do you think will actually electrocute themselves, whether it's scratching their ass, rubbing their balls, or picking their nose, or rubbing their eye?
It's unbelievable. Anyway, it's kind of the state we're in right now. He's going to keep talking about the markets. The markets are not exactly going along with his plan.
I saw the bond markets tanking.
Well, and we don't have time to get into that, but we did see how much money our government pumped into the yen because we didn't want Japan to be selling our bonds because, yes, it is tanking. That didn't work. So we started flooding the market, not by making cash, but then we started buying our debt back. You can't do that. It doesn't work. You can't take from your left pocket, put it in your right pocket, and think that things are getting better. But this is their plan, and keep looking at your 401 because that's where it's at. Even that is not sustainable, and that's a banana slip away from not having anything, frankly.
Yeah, no, none of this is sustainable.
But here we are. I do appreciate your time. I told you I was going to keep it brief today, which I am going to do. I did have a happy ending that I'm going to put out. It was from yesterday. The Pirates as a franchise have played 22,089 games in franchise history. Yesterday, Rafael Flores Jr. was the first player in franchise history to hit 2 home runs coming off the bench. And this wasn't an extra inning game. Went 9 innings. They did win it in the bottom of the 9th, but that's a lot of games. 22,000 and change games is insane. That's the first time that's happened, but
that is pretty impressive.
Good for him. He was the guy that came over for Bednar, which was a wasted trade. We just give the Yankees all the talent they want. We're not even going to talk about the Pirates. Still kind of holding out hope, but I'm off that right now.
Maybe. I mean, they've won 2 straight series, and I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But in the meantime, you have the Steelers have their next preseason game tomorrow, and the 2 young quarterbacks are going to start and get the snaps. So that's going to be really interesting to see.
I think so too. Hopefully it won't be blacked out. NFL Network blacked me out, I think, because I was close to Green Bay when they played the Steelers. Makes no sense. I'm not going to pay 9 different streaming services just to see lousy preseason football.
Mhm.
But you can find it on the internet if you know somebody.
There's ways around that, my friend. Yes,
Absolutely.
sir.
Well, Billy, I appreciate your time. Really good to have you back. Always a pleasure to catch up with you and get your.
Yeah, no, good to be back. And I'm sure you do a great job, and I'm sure it's nice to have a different talking head sitting in this seat every now and again because people that sit opposite you all do a great job. So
And I appreciate their time and their willingness, and they all have really good insight, and they care. That's the biggest thing.
mm-hmm.
Well, Billy, I'll talk to you soon, and I do appreciate your time today.
Oh, great to be back with you.
All right. See you soon.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.